Kilo Echo 4 Whiskey Foxtrot Kilo.
Roger, and what's the name there, sir?
Name's John. Juliet Oscar Hotel, November.
Okay, John, gosh, sounding really good there. What's your location?
I'm over here on the eastern side of Ohio, a little town called Wintersville, Ohio there, Roger.
Alrighty, and what's the radio you're running, sir?
I'm running an IC718,
Roger that. Now you're, and what mic are you running there?
Standard stock.
Roger. Sounds like it might be just a little shallow on the bottom end. It sounds like it might be in the attack mode. If you know where your EQ is, I would try to crank in a little bit, a couple of clicks more on the bottom end, Roger, so it wouldn't sound quite so upper mids.
Roger. This thing don't have very many controls on it. It's just that basic radio. It's basically just that, it's just a basic radio there. Not very many controls for audio.
Roger, boy, they're having a heck of a lightning storm in Milford, Pennsylvania, or in that area. Did you say you do not have EQ, or you do have?
Not have EQ, or you do have? I do not have anything special on this radio that would do. It's automatically already made inside the radio.
Alrighty, sir. Well, it's very legible. Like I say, it just does not have a lot of bottom end, but it is very legible. So it's not something that you're going to be having a problem with as far as folks understanding what you're saying, Roger.
Roger. How's my signal, though? How's my signal?
Okay, I'm copying you 10 over on the Milford, PA SDR. I would suggest that, what we suggest is running a 3 on the compressor. Engage the compressor, run it at about a 3. It's just a token amount, but it does exactly what you need it to do. And then after you get your compressor in line at a 3, go to your ALC and check your ALC level, and you want to be running a mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC, Roger.
Roger. I'll look at my ALC right now. It's just a switch of a button here. Roger. Yeah, it does show I'm running a tad bit high, but I got the compressor on. Okay, now I'm not running so high, and it's running right about 3/4 way up the ALC scale.
Roger. Now that your dynamic range is about 3 dB is exactly where you want to be. You were getting a little peak distortion the other way, so now you're nice and clean and very full, Roger.
Roger. Hey, can you do me a favor while you're doing that? Can I switch to another channel, or another antenna to see if there's any difference in my audio or anything like that?
Sure. Hopefully, like you have an A/B switch and you can just do it immediately. That's the thing about an A/B comparison. You need to make that transition very quickly so you can see exactly the difference. If you wait maybe even 10 seconds, you're catching a different ride, Roger.
Roger. I'm on antenna number 2 right now. I'm on antenna number 2. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is antenna number 2.
Okay, I'm on Milford, PA, and like I say, they're having a heck of a lightning storm up in that area. Let me look around and see if I can find a better path. Why don't you tell me the difference between those two antennas, and we'll compare them again if I can find a better path.
One's a ground-mounted, but is one of those alpha NVIS type antennas there, Roger.
Yes, sir. Now I have I'm on my local antenna, copying you fairly well. So why don't you give me a like a 5 or 10 count, and at 5 switch antennas. Give me a 5 count on one antenna, and then all you have to do is you don't have to even stop transmitting. You just don't talk as you switch, and switch at 5 to going to 6, and let me hear what happens.
Roger, roger. Okay, we'll start out with antenna number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, there's about 10 dB difference, a major difference. Antenna 1 to me is very nice, and then when you switched, I'm looking at your audio on a VU meter, and it's calibrated on 0 peaks, and so when you stopped, when you went to antenna 2, your level dropped 10 dB, and you were just barely at the bottom end of the VU meter. Roger?
Roger, roger. So that means my ground mount antenna is a lot better than the other one, man. I prefer using my ground mount, but I've been using this something over there, one that I, that we tested out too, as a listening antenna, so I could use it to phase out noise with my signal enhancer.
Roger. Now you're back on antenna 1, Roger?
Yeah, I'm on the ground-mounted vertical right now.
I want you to do that same test again, and let's see if we had a fluke or that's really what happens. Same test again.
Okay, roger, roger. I'm on the ground-mounted vertical, so we'll start the count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Roger, roger, John. Well, when you switched to that number 2 antenna, you just disappeared. It was like you were not hardly there. So that number 1 antenna is the one, Roger. At least to me, maybe it was different somewhere else, but to me, it just made all the difference in the world.
Hey, roger, roger. Okay, yeah, I like that ground-mounted vertical. So I'll use that other antenna, like I said, to use basically for a signal, another antenna to split off the signal so I can noise cancel a lot of the noise on the street by hearing. But I would like to know if the antenna works for a secondary antenna, and it don't.
Yeah, John, I wouldn't even consider it a second or backup antenna. It's just, not very good. 10 dB is, there could be something wrong with it. You might check your SWR on that antenna for sure. Your number 1 antenna, I think, is right on, but that number 2, I would double check the SWR. Roger?
Roger, roger. I did. I put my VNA on that today and checked it out as it stands, and it's got pretty decent SWR on it, but it's one of those antennas that's got one of them 9-to-1 balance on it, and hardly any ground at all to it there, Roger.
Roger. Well, as far as radiating, it is not doing too good a job compared to your number 1 antenna. 10 dB difference is a very large signal difference, Roger.
All right then. Okay, I appreciate you coming back to me on that. At least I know the truth and everything now, and I appreciate what you did for me.
Roger, roger, John. Thanks for dropping by, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and we'll say threes to you. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is KC9VKV, the Qso-Vlog net for Friday afternoon. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.